Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Relix, and today we'll be going over a couple more players for the LA Kings before heading into the new season. Today we'll be looking at two centers, one being Blake Lizotte, and he is a little ball of energy on the ice. He is, as Todd McClellan has mentioned before, as the fans could be calling him, the Energizer Bunny of the LA Kings. He brings a lot of energy to the game, day in, day out. He forechecks, he defends, and in this year he got career highs in offense, goals, assists, and points. He's not going to be like your best scorer, of course, but for a guy who is the shortest on the team and yet one of the shortest in the league, he definitely brings a lot of energy, and he plays his hardest every day. I think the whole Kings organization could probably agree, including fans, that Lizotte was probably our hardest working guy out there every single game. And like I said, he may not be the best scorer, but he definitely, does every other little thing for the team. I mentioned before in a previous video that Kevin Fiala led the team in minor penalties taken with 26. Lizotte had 25. Okay, so he takes a lot of penalties. But the difference between him and Fiala is Lizotte, he draws penalties because he does get bullied on the ice because he is smaller. So he does draw a lot. I think he is probably the best penalty drawer on the team. And B, he doesn't just take minor penalties, he fights too. He had I think 4 fight majors in this season. So it's not like he's just taking penalties, here and there. He may have led the team in penalty minutes, but it's for the right reasons. And I also think that his minor penalties don't reflect everything that happens. Because just because one guy starts bullying him on the ice, shoving him around just because he's smaller, of course he's going to defend himself. Heck, if Lizotte could take out, a second liner, another third liner off the ice and go in the penalty box with him, it's perfect. 4-on-4 hockey, get Kempe, Kopi, Fiala, Arvidsson, those guys to go up and score with more room on the ice. It's perfect. Honestly, I think he does his job perfectly. Now, it's not to say that, he isn't without his flaws. Of course, there's a few minor penalties that are just undisciplined, but that's just part of the game of hockey. And I think as a bottom liner, I think he plays his job phenomenally. So, going over his stats, he played 81 games this season, which is excellent. I believe it's his first full, NHL season. I have to check that. But he got 11 goals, 23 assists for a 34-point season. That's 10th on the team in scoring through the whole year. He's literally a third line style center playing fourth line, and he got 10th in scoring. That's unbelievable, especially for what he does. And he also had a plus 11 on the season, which is really good. So I mentioned before, if y'all had a plus 2, the difference in their plus minus just shows that Lizotte knows how to play defense, and I think he has excellent defensive capabilities. He is one of the mainstays that plays the PK when he's in the lineup. And not only that, he also takes a lot of faceoffs too. He has always been 50% or higher in his faceoff percentage while he's with the LA Kings. And I think that just goes to show how reliable he is. He can play both offense and defense and take faceoffs, throughout the entire season, game by game basis. And even though he only gets just under 13 minutes of time on ice average, I think he definitely deserves to play third line more than not. I mean, he is a great forechecker. Gets it, he's small, but he gets right in the the boards. He gets right up against the players. Tries to get those pucks, and I think he does a really good job at it. Just as good, if not better, than Iafallo does on the forecheck. And like I said before, he plays PK. He is one of the mainstay PK centers. Honestly, I think he's underutilized in a lot of areas, especially in offense. I think he could definitely be a better scorer if he tried to, but I don't think that's his game, and I think he should stick to it though, because that's he knows how to work hard. He knows how to get things done and leave all the energy on the ice and have no regrets. I think he's learned a lot from Dustin Brown in that regard, and I think he should continue doing what he's doing right now. Like I said, he's not without his faults, but it's still an improvement. I think he's getting better year by year, and ever since he came into the league, I've always liked him. I always thought he was a great player as far as the skill level, and I think going forward he's going to still be that good guy who we can rely on in every situation except for power play, of course, because he doesn't power play. But in games where he did get power play time, because like the Kings are just getting blown out, or if we're just blowing out the enemy, I think he played decent power play as well. I mean, I think probably maybe 3 times maximum he's played power play, but when he does go out there, I think he plays amazing. So, but that's just me. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know what you guys think. I think he's well deserving of a third line center spot, but because of Dubois coming over from Winnipeg, he is projected to be the 4th line center, which I disagreed with it at first, but having a strong center lane drive with Kopi, Dubois, Danault, and Lizotte, honestly, you can't praise the Kings lineup anymore better than that as far as centers. And I think going into the season, I can confidently say that our centers are going to be really strong. I mean, the NHL analysts are already saying that this is one of the stronger forward cores, the backbone of the team, the centers. And I can't agree more. I think we have a really strong center group, and as well as other guys who can play center if needed too. So hopefully the season looks really bright for not just Lizotte, but all the centers and everyone going forward. Now, that's Lizotte. He amazing. I had a lot to say about him. I know. Again, one of my favorite players on the Kings, honestly. And now moving on to another center who does not shine as hard. Let's remember that Lizotte was an undrafted player. And here we are going now to Quinton Byfield, the 2nd overall pick in 2020. Again, the complete opposite of Lizotte, in fact, in almost every aspect. Byfield is supposed to be a strong player. Like, 2nd overall, you don't just get there because, by name or, just because of sheer luck. You have to work hard for it, right? You have to be recognized as the 2nd best in the draft, and Byfield's not that. I mean, 3rd overall, Tim Stützle is literally the best in the draft class. And it's like, what is Byfield doing? Not sure. He played 53 games this season. He had injuries as well as scratches during the season. 3 goals. Yep, 3 goals. That's all he can muster up, with 19 assists and 22 total points. Yeah. The only bright side to his game is he had a plus 13, but again, that's him playing with Kopitar and Kempe towards the end of the season. Like, that's not good. I mean, Kempe and Kopi are basically making him look good, and he's not helping them at all. He's actually holding them back, as I've mentioned before in the previous videos, talking about Kopitar and Kempe, and I just don't see it. Maybe I'm blind, but as far as anyone I've talked to, no one sees it. Byfield's absolutely not worth what we got or paid to get him for, and 2nd overall, and he's just not contributing. It's very sad. So yeah, 30 penalty minutes, not bad. He's more disciplined than not, right? But I did notice a lot of tripping penalties, I believe, so that's not good. I mean, he's using his long stick in the wrong way. I think he needs to use his body. He is a big guy compared to Lizotte. Byfield is a much bigger guy, and he's very wimpy. Honestly, Byfield doesn't use his body enough. He doesn't get in the dirty areas like Lizotte does, and I think his stats show. His stats reflect how his gameplay is, and only 1 power play goal for a guy who does get in on the 2nd unit at times, and his faceoffs are atrocious. He only took 57 total faceoffs, but he did 47%, and as a guy who's been brought up as a centerman, that's not good. Lizotte getting 50% every season, including when he first entered the league. So for Byfield to not be getting 50% either, it's just not good. I think he needs to definitely improve. And 1404 time on ice, averaged not that much more than Lizotte. Like I said again, Byfield's supposed to be this next guy who's supposed to take the Kings higher going into the future. I just don't see it. I really don't. Another thing to note is basically his shooting percentage. Worst on the team, basically. I would only say I think it was a 4.1% shot percentage, and that's worst on the team if you exclude Edler and Walker, who are defensemen who shouldn't really be shooting anyways. So to say that he's any good at anything is it's just being too generous. I think he needs to really work on the off season. He needs to improve immensely. If he's going to play the left wing with Kopitar and Kempe, he needs to improve. He needs to work harder than any other King on the team going into the season. And hopefully during training camp we see that. Now, I know I've been bashing him, but we also need to talk about one other thing, and it's his passes. When he does get his passes on, majority of the time he's going to turn over the puck. Majority of the time he's going to give away the puck and just not connect with anybody. He's going to do a no-look pass to nobody. But when he does pass the puck and it connects to our players, it is sometimes the most beautiful passes I see all season by the Kings. Like, I am not even joking. I am not making this up. If you go back and watch some of his passes, if he does get in the down low areas, in the corners of the boards, in the offensive zone, he pulls out the puck, he makes some of the most beautiful passes there are, and it goes tape to tape, and when that happens, it usually ends up in a goal. And, this is not to say that his 19 assists isn't scoring. It is scoring, but he needs to do better. And I think he has the potential to be a really good playmaker if he utilizes his skills, his assets, a lot more. So, going into the season, I'm not expecting him to, blow my mind or anything. I'm not expecting him to be the best scorer on the team by any means. In fact, I wouldn't even be surprised if Byfield got less points than Lizotte again. But I am expecting him to be more stable, more balanced, and just not result in a lot of goals against him. I think he definitely needs to improve his overall game more than he needs to start scoring. If he can do that and just not be a hindrance to the team from the day one to the end of the season, I think that would be a lot better. And like I said again, taking faceoffs. If he can improve on his faceoff percentage, that's just another option as a winger, going into the season that we can use as center if needed. So my overall thoughts is, I'm kind of done with him, but at the same time, I do see the potential to improve. And after I think 3 seasons now, right? I think this is it. NHL Network believes this is his breakout season. This will be his breakout year, 2023-24 season. So let's hope they're right, because honestly, I'm not seeing it yet. I'm really hoping he does better, because the Kings have hyped him up to be one of their next future stars, and if that's the case, it's got to be like right now. And I'm tired of waiting for it, because it's really irritating to see him play with the top line when he isn't even top line material. I mean, he spent most of his time third line, fourth line, because Todd McLellan knows that he's just not playing good enough, and hopefully he does better. And like I said, Lizotte's playing phenomenal, and he's playing fourth line. Byfield needs to play better. So we'll see what happens going forward into the season, but that's all I have for now. Thank you for watching. If you guys liked the video, then hit the like button, and comment down below what you guys thought. Am I right? Am I wrong? Do you agree with what I'm saying about Byfield? Do you agree with what I'm saying about Lizotte? Let me know. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for more content, as well as future player reviews. And if you guys haven't seen my other player reviews, please go back and watch those as well, because we're going over every player that played last season and going to the next season, even if they've already departed from the team. So that's all for now. Hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.